Hi, Richard.
Hi, Colin.
Guess what's sitting here on the kitchen island here? My daughter helps teach Sunday school. She's 13, but she teaches the little kids. She's just like the best.
It's
And
pretty
so
impressive. Pretty
I
impressive.
saw this. I don't know why this is sitting here. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. I guess they made this craft here. Look at this. Happy
Wow.
Halloween.
There's a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
detail in that.
I guess. Look, so it's like it's one of those Oriental training things or whatever that they buy from that website. But
Oriental.
yeah, that's what it's called. Oriental Trading. That's the website.
I'm going to just stay politically out of that.
No,
Um,
it's like an old school catalog. But I don't think is the mustache on backwards. That was the debate that I wanted to have, but I didn't want to shake her up before school.
yeah, don't shake her up. Mustache might be backwards.
I think
However,
upside down.
it might be. It might be. But it looks
Well,
cute. It looks like a big nose. And
yeah,
actually, as I recall now, it is not because I know my grandfather had a
yeah.
mustache that went down that way.
Well, actually, I think maybe the nose should be on top of the
Just a
mustache. Is
little
what the
higher. The nose should be a
like
little higher.
it should be. The nose should be on top of it.
But
Actually,
why would we criticize it? It's perfect.
no. So I'm gonna walk. I might just put ear flaps like this and walk around. This could be my Halloween costume.
I think
I
your Halloween costume as you sit before me is perfect.
have you noticed it's a candy corn?
I have.
I don't know, and it has eyebrows like mine.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, happy Halloween.
Oh my.
Happy. I bet you were a big Devil's Night guy as opposed to Halloween guy growing up in your rambunctious days in Munhall.
No, I wasn't anything. Halloween just didn't float my boat.
Halloween was on the way to hello. Halloween was on the way to Thanksgiving and Christmas for you. That's it.
Yeah, I just never I never did the dress up thing. I mean, no, it just wasn't my thing.
You never got dressed up for Halloween.
I can remember being very small at one point, and I was Casper the Friendly Ghost. And after that, no, never again.
That's it. You
That's
were
it. That's it. One and done.
oh
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm boring. What can I tell you?
that astounds me because that's the kind of town where you could just wipe up candy wise.
Well, for the time that I did go, and I would go probably with no costume on, but Kit Kat was my jam.
Oh, Kit Kat is your stuff. You like
Yeah,
those?
I liked Kit Kat way back
Yeah.
when.
I like more of the gummier candy now. Chocolate stuff I'm okay with, but and this wasn't when I was little, but like Sour Patch Kids and like Swedish Fish, that's my thing now.
Yeah, no, not me. Not me.
Yeah.
If I'm eating anything that's a commercial chocolate, it would probably be a Twixt.
Oh, Twix. Okay.
Yeah,
But you're more of like a Saris guy, right?
I'm a Sarah's guy.
Yeah,
I'm a
I
Sarah's
figured.
guy and Betsy Ann. Have you had Betsy Ann?
I have had Betsy Ann. Yes,
Betsy
yes,
Ann,
yes.
Betsy Ann's pretty damn good.
It is pretty damn good. You're right about that. I do like a chocolate covered pretzel. That's
Yeah.
the chocolate covered pretzel I like.
Um, I guess there's a chocolate company. I
Uh-huh.
can't Leiterbach or something like that, and they
Okay.
have it's chocolate infused with cornflakes.
No thanks. You like it.
Oh my heavens!
Where's it based? Like somewhere in the middle of the world, in the middle of the
I
country?
think it. Well, I think it's there's individual stores throughout the South. I think it originates in Sweden. Swiss
Wow.
chocolate. Oh, it's you. If you tried it, as a matter of fact, I'm going to bring you some next time I see it.
You know what I do like though? Those my wife brought home from Amsterdam was those stroop waffles, those
Yeah,
chocolate covered that you put on top of your coffee mug and let melt a little bit.
yeah,
Those with a little caramel in the middle, like it's like that's I those are tremendous.
yeah. It's funny. I have no idea why we're talking about this. Probably because it's Halloween. But
That's why.
once upon a time, I went to Italy.
Uh-huh.
It was a little while ago, and I found something there, and I brought it back to Saris and said, "I want to produce these," and they're still producing them. And it's that instant hot chocolate on a
Yeah.
stick,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I brought that back from Italy.
that you dip in and then it melts
Yeah,
and it's like
hot
the
chocolate.
natural process of the hot makes it melt and it absorbs into the coffee.
Right. And it
Yes.
becomes no, and it's actually milk and it's hot
Okay.
chocolate. Becomes hot chocolate. And yeah, dip, what did we call that? Dip and sip.
Wow. Did you
Yeah,
get royalties here or
I
what?
didn't. I didn't. We fought, but I didn't. And then I
You
just decided to let it go.
Oh man. Well,
Yeah,
good
no,
on
because
you.
they're friends.
So,
But
so you're like an importer exporter.
never got that far, but it was a great idea. Dip and sip. That's what it was.
Dip and sip. All
Dip and
right.
sip.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. All
So
right. So football.
let's dip and sip our football team.
Yeah, the quarterback played well. He's pretty good in between the 20s, especially. I mean, he's got a lot of confidence throwing the football.
Well, and you can't come back and say, well, he's got to get in the red zone. He did get in the red zone, but a couple things, circumstances took him out of the red zone. Not him.
Right.
It wasn't him. So he did get in the red zone. I mean, not the red zone. He did score from the 20
Yeah.
twice. Twice.
Well, he's one thing that I think that can't be hammered enough, and I don't think enough media people are making enough of this. Is
Broderick,
it? No. He's brought out the best in George Pickens, and it's like
100%.
been
100%.
instantaneous. Like it's
100%.
skyrocketed in 2 games.
100,000,000%. But you know why? Because, in my opinion, and I saw this right from the beginning, what I saw was he recognized, first he had to recognize, he recognized what he had in George Pickens.
Uh-huh.
What he had in George Pickens was exactly complementary to what Russell brought. And he spent the time. They worked after practice, they worked before practice. He put the time in to develop the rapport and the timing. And when you see Russell underthrow a ball, that's not an underthrown ball. That's their plan. You see an overthrown ball,
Oh
you see a
yeah.
ball to the right. That's their plan. It's a result of their hard work, commitment, and dedication. And so when you say he brings out the best in the team, he does. But that's because of his wisdom and knowledge of the game. And I believe his football IQ is very strong, very high, and that allowed him to develop the talent around him. Now, look, we're 2 games in. We're certainly not to the point where we can look back and say, "Wow, this was great." It's a work in progress. I believe it will get better every week, and I believe I saw something on X that said fill in the blank. Something about the Steelers are the blank best team in the league. Like fill in the blank. Is it the first, second,
Right,
third,
right, right.
fourth, fifth? And somebody put, I think it was one of your ex buddies there, which he makes me nuts half of the time. But where it said that he said that Baltimore was better than the Steelers, and I don't believe that for a minute. Baltimore
We'll,
ranked in front of the Steelers,
we'll
and
find out soon.
yeah, we'll find
Um,
out. It's just, but looking at it right now, there's just no way. Why would he even say that?
well,
Um,
here's the other part about Pickens though that I think is real important. It's not just about Russell Wilson making him better. It's about the timing of it. We were ready to run that guy out of town, and he was in a big doghouse, and it was a place, a headspace for George Pickens where the weight of the city was like, this guy, I don't know if he's going to be worth it. He's a pain in the backside, all that. And
and it
there's been
wasn't me. That wasn't
no,
me.
it's been a lot of people though. But it's been a resurrection in 14 days where he has come full circle. And he just looks happier. He just
Well,
looks like a happier
because
being.
he knows what he is. He knows what he has. He knows what he is, and he was frustrated because they weren't using him that way. And they weren't using him that way because they didn't have the skill set at the quarterback position to be able to use him for what he's best at. And I believe, by the way, that's not an indictment of Justin Fields because I really like Justin Fields also in his particular skill set. That would have to be a redesigned offense to suit his skill set. I believe in him. I believe that whatever Russell wants to play, he plays. Call it a year, 2 years, 3 years, and Justin Fields then would be a natural transition, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
Did I
do.
make you tired? Did you just
No,
yawn?
I
You just
did.
yawned.
I was up late. I'm getting ready for Halloween. No, you didn't make me tired. I was one of those yawns that snuck up on me. But no, in all of this, in the offensive stuff, I'm thinking that it's running pretty close to full function. But another thing I need to get to, this play with George Pickens that they didn't call a touchdown. This is, I have been a long proponent of, I don't think there should be any instant replay review in any sport. Because here's my argument.
Takes the human element out.
Well, it does that, but it was meant to change the egregious. Like if a referee falls down and he can't see the play at all, then you use instant replay because the referee didn't see it. He fell down and his leg broke or something. If you go back the long history of football before there was instant replay, 100 times out of 100 times, that's a touchdown. It's just called a touchdown. Like it wasn't meant to bring in a micro snippet, very small, zoomed in. We've gotten away from what the goal and the aim of this was to overturn the egregious.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was. I think the goal in it was to get the calls right.
But again, if I go to 1978 and they run that play at full speed and they do it, not one person complains if they call it a touchdown. They just don't on either side.
Right, but it wasn't a touchdown.
It wasn't a touchdown whenever you slowed it down, you went to Zapruder film, you did all that, and then you came out the other. It's made us too precise. Just because we have the technology doesn't mean we need to push it into the games like this. I feel that way.
Well, remember,
because we're asking everybody to be perfect except the officials on the field.
Okay, I get that. I understand your point. My best friend in the world, who was much older than me at the time, if you Google who invented instant replay, you'll see his name, Tony Verna. And Tony Verna was truly part of my family. And he's passed away since, but he invented instant replay. They would say Rune Arledge or Tony Verna, and it was really Tony Verna. But it was really, it's a technology. That's what it is. It's just a technology, using the technology. That's what it was then. There was no invention. It was a technology that was used to run the playback and look at it to get it right. I agreed with that, and he and I would have these conversations a lot. But you're right. To your point, I believe you're right also, and by that I mean we're asking perfection. And how deep do we want to drill down? The 1 foot in the end zone. I don't know. I never even heard that rule.
So by virtue of that rule, because again, they're the only people in that whole situation asked to be perfect. Nobody else is asked to be perfect. But by virtue of that, and I was thinking about this then, if you play that rule all the way out, if you catch the ball in the middle of the end zone and you hop 6 times on your right foot and then you hop out of bounds, you never got the left one down.
It's a valid point. 100% valid point. I think it will come up in the owners' meetings. It's a 100% valid point.
I don't know. Sometimes we get caught up in all the periphery and the minutia and this stuff, and we just miss the main point.
Right. But here's my main point. The point is Russell Wilson put him in the end zone.
He did. Back to that point. Russell Wilson put the football there, scored, did what he needed to do, made the throws.
The first series that the Steelers had the ball after the kickoff was brilliant. Play calls were brilliant. First was a rollout, play action, then a run, then a play. It was just brilliant. It's too soon to praise our offensive coordinator, but then again, boy, I'll tell you, it's good or bad by comparison. And what we had, I don't even understand how that guy had a job in the NFL.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's also something that, and this is where I think Arthur Smith's doing a great job.
Yes,
it's elementary by design in so much as they're just crushing them by play action. And it's something so simplistic that's just been a small change that Justin Fields, I guess, can't or didn't run play action. Russell Wilson runs it brilliantly, and it just gives him an extra millisecond of time to freeze those linebackers, and he picks people apart. It's not some elaborate play design or some crazy stuff. It's simplicity that's just carried out.
But he's executing.
Correct.
Even on a screen pass, and you play football at a lower level, I played football at a lower level. Just to loft that ball over a defensive end coming in for a screen pass, just to get it over there and make it perfect, is pretty darn tough, right? Everybody's
Yes.
moving, you're moving away from you, moving towards you, and guys with their hands up, just to get it over top of them and to place it perfectly is not easy. And that's his execution. I mean, honestly, I just think the guy's great. I really do.
He's not a gigantic man.
No, he's 5'8".
Right. Like he's not a super big guy. And I it astounds me how much he's gotten out of his body in terms of his stature. Like he's an incredible athlete.
He is.
Could have been
But
a major league baseball player.
he puts, I read that somewhere, but he puts the emphasis on the hard work that he does. Man, the guy just prepares.
I,
And I think for himself, he had something to prove. And it goes back to that idiot that I hate.
oh,
You know who that is?
Matt Canada.
No, well, no,
Pete
no, that,
Carroll. No, the guy in
no,
Denver. The guy in Denver now. You
no, let's
can't.
name him. No, let's
No,
name him.
Sean
Sean
Payton.
Payton. Yes, let's
You,
name him.
you know how people have these super fans and they're like they turn into like almost stalkers.
Yeah.
You're the opposite of what that would be with Sean Payton.
I am that way because he deliberately tried to hurt Russell Wilson.
You're right about that. And he deliberately tried to hurt people when he was having Bounty Gate.
Yes, right.
You
That
are
is the true man's character. That is the character. And I am telling you, put him in front of me. We will argue. I can't believe it. I watched Carissa Thompson interview him, and
yeah.
she just kissed up to him, and called him
Oh,
coach, and it just bothered me. Like, man, come on. I don't care if the guy wins 10 more Super Bowls. He's not a good human being.
she melted. I didn't see this.
She melted. Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's terrible, terrible. And again, I can't respect a man that tries to hurt somebody deliberately.
Yeah, you've been long driving the Sean Payton hate train. You're the
I've been
engineer of
driving it
that.
since he got in the car. Yep.
You can't stand the guy. All right, what happens this weekend? No Steeler football.
Well, here's what happens this weekend on Saturday.
Tell me.
The Pittsburgh Penguins have decided to have a Pittsburgh night on Saturday.
Oh, I heard about this. You're involved in this.
I am. I am being honored
Oh,
and introducing our Yeehaw cowboy hat drop from the rafters. So they're going to put me on, and we're going to talk about it, and it's going to be on the what do you call it? Not Jumbotron, but whatever it is. We're going to
no, they didn't tell you all of it, though. You know the part I heard?
What?
You have to go up on that catwalk.
Oh, well, the part that you didn't hear?
What's this?
I won't be there.
Yeah, you have to go up on the catwalk and actually drop the hat.
Ain't happening.
Yes.
Not today, not tomorrow, not ever.
You're just up on a little steel grate and you can see it below
happen.
you and you drop them like that.
If that happened, I'd drop. I'd fall myself.
No, did you get to drive the Zamboni?
No, but Shenderovich and Shenderovich will be on the Zamboni.
They're leaving Fishman at home?
Yeah.
My joke with them all the time is somebody has to work, so it's Fishman.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's also true.
But they're good guys.
They're the best. They're the absolute best.
Well, they're not the best. I'm the best.
Besides you. So
okay.
They're going to be on the Zamboni. Where are you going to be? On the bench?
No, I'm going to be up above my section, and they're going to interview me with Jaden. Jaden, voice of the Pens.
Yeah. So, okay. I kind of like this. Are you going to have one of those hats on?
I'm going to have a hat on.
Okay. All right.
And that's the other thing. I probably need to take some hats.
You have to.
Hats.
Take two for Shenderovich and Shenderovich. They've shaved their head bald. Have you seen them recently?
No, I have not.
They have. They have hair like me.
Oh, that's funny. But I know somebody else that they're honoring also who's very cool. John Geiger. Do you know who that is?
I do know John. You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah, please.
Ask John Geiger when you talk to him. I've known John Geiger since he was a high school basketball player.
No.
Absolutely have.
So the story of John Geiger is Nike sued him, right?
It goes way back.
And he prevailed.
He did.
And now he produces his own line. And I believe they're going to be available to purchase at the game on Saturday.
Yeah, he's from McKees Rocks. He's a good kid, hardworking kid. Grew up, was on teams with another guy, Adam DeMichael, who's a very good athlete at Stowe Rocks High School. And they were on all these great teams. John Geiger, the first time I kind of knew him as a high school athlete because I was working at the newspaper, and they were a bunch of tough kids. He was involved in an incredible moment. He was inbounding the ball in the state championship, okay?
Yeah.
And this will endear you to him. Kid on the bench behind him at state championship in Hershey reaches up and punches him underneath his pants.
No.
Punches him as he's inbounding the ball. The referee didn't see it. John Geiger knew he was outnumbered. He turned around, Richard. He gave 7 of those kids black eyes on that bench, and the whole thing just.
Now that is a yeehaw moment.
It was a yeehaw. And before you knew it, there were 200 people fighting on that floor in Hershey.
Oh, my God.
John Geiger said, "You were not going to hit me, some kid from the Rocks." And he was outnumbered, and it looked like a barroom saloon from
my God. Chelsea, we have to take a snippet of this.
You got to ask him about that.
John Geiger.
It was against
oh, my God.
A high school named Trinity from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. He was outnumbered and just went swinging into the other bench.
I absolutely love that story. And you know what? It speaks to old school versus what we have now. You know,
I agree.
And it's funny because last night, not political, but I was watching something that Kristen Gaffney was on. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
Okay, so she's got a podcast and she's married to ex running back Gaffney.
Oh, I did. She had some comments that people were talking about. Yes.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
And her comment last night was, "It's time for the resurgence of the alpha male." Right. And so this kind of goes right with that. Right. Yes. Who did John play for?
Stowe Rocks, man.
He played for Stowe Rocks.
I don't condone fighting normally, but a kid punched him right up under his shorts, and he was outnumbered like 7-1. He said, "My back's against the wall. I'm just gonna go into that bench," and it turned into a melee. But anyway, fast forward.
Wow.
So he was always a really good basketball player. So he was friends with Darrell Revis and some of these other guys that were like around his age.
Yeah.
So I guess he started making shoes and doing things. And then Nike thought that he took some of the technology or whatever it was.
Right.
Then they sued him. They didn't win. I guess his mindset is he can make a quality shoe rather than mass produce it that people want as a designer shoe. And it hit. And people want that quality over quantity, and they pay a lot of money for these, and they're very sought after.
Yes.
And so last laugh goes to him.
It does. My son bought me a pair. My son is the one that introduced me to it.
Great. He's a great guy.
That's a really good story.
And he is just a hardworking kid from McKees Rocks.
We'll also get him on our show.
Yes. No airs about him at all. Like no airs. Just a hardworking dude.
How old would he be?
He would be... He'd probably graduate in 2001 or 2002 from high school, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. So he's like mid to late 30s?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna reach out to him. That story is just very compelling. I love it.
And nobody ever gave that kid anything in life.
Oh,
not one thing.
This story gets better and better.
Yep. So I root for him. I've known him since he's probably 16 years old. Tell him you know me.
I absolutely will. Absolutely. But he's going to be honored also. So, and he certainly is much more worthy than me. I just scream yeehaw.
Well, on that note, I guess we don't have a game to talk about.
No, but that's okay. Steelers are going to keep going. Who do we play next?
They would play at Washington, I think, after the off week.
I still like the Steelers, but boy, that quarterback scares me.
That finish was incredible.
Yeah, that quarterback scares me. 52 yards in the air. That's big.
I don't know if we could do that twice. If I threw it, then you threw it.
I don't think so. Mine would go 10 yards. Mine would look like a screen pass.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, quality over quantity. All right.
Steelers over Washington, but we'll come back and revisit that.
We will. Have a good time at the Penguin game.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yeehaw.